So you may or may not know this, but I really suck at doing chimps once. So I decided, hey, you know what, why don't we try chimps? But all of our towers are 333 towers. Surely nothing can go wrong, right? So this is a chimps one, and given that we're only limited to tier 3 towers, we're going to start this off like a normal chimps one. And there's actually a lot of ways that you could go about this, but I'm going to go with the simplest, and that is druids, mostly because I want the towers that I use to also help us in the long run. So druids is actually one of the better ones to start off with. So that's exactly what we're going to start off with. Now, of course, we're not going to rely on druids only because, I mean, come on, now the three paths could help us out in the long term. So what I want to do is focus a little bit more on the mid game for now, and I think the perfect tower to do this is the middle path wizard, aka the Dragon's Breath. Why? Because Dragon's Breath is relatively powerful, at least up to 140, and later on we're going to move on to more powerful towers, but for the time being, I would say that the middle path wizard is actually our best bet. I might have noticed I also didn't bring any heroes for this challenge because I feel that if I bring in heroes, then it's going to be way too easy to, you know, cheese it. And another thing about doing a 3-tier only challenge is that you're limited to, well, just regular towers. And in a sense, you kind of cannot use any abilities at all because all the abilities for every tower is limited to only tier 4 and above, as you can see from all of these towers right here. So it's kind of an additional restriction in the sense that, well, we can't use abilities, unlike last time when we did our run with just BTD5 Towers, because the TD5 Towers do indeed have abilities, but the only difference is that here, it's actually much harder since, you know, it's only tier 3 towers, and we should probably max out the amount of money that we're spending, aka going for the least amount of cash possible. It's probably not ideal. I'm slightly worried about camel balloons, so I'm just going to go ahead and get myself a monkey sense. So hopefully we should be able to do round 24 with no problems. And we should be able to get Dragon's Breath soon enough. Okay, round 25 is already a minor issue thanks to the fact that we got purples, but that's fine. A simple way to solve this is to get myself hard taunts and set this fella to strong. I could do without hard taunts, but without hard taunts it's going to make life slightly more difficult. So let's see how much easier it will be. Hopefully get all the purples. Okay, we did. Okay, so that's fantastic. Okay, so now we managed to get Dragon's Breath before round 28, and that's nice. And I think it's probably best that we go for the middle path druid now, so that we don't have to worry about purples like at all, especially later on in the game. At this point, there's a lot of towers that we could go for. But the problem is, since we're only limited to tier 3s, we kind of have to think carefully about which towers we should get. And I think that the best tower, in my opinion, to get, given that we're only limited to 3 tiers, is the Super Monkey. Because Super Monkey is really powerful even at its tier 3 variant. If you think about it, the last time we raced with only 3 tiers, we had to use Super Monkeys in order for us to get the lowest possible time. So same rule applies here. Because Super Monkey is able to do the most DPS, it is obviously the most ideal tower for this scenario. Now, a question you might be asking is which Crosspath we're going to go with, and I would say, for starters, getting the top path is probably ideal, at least for this location. So a 3-2-0 would do quite well. I would say that a middle path monkey is also very powerful for dealing with more class balloons, but here is definitely not the place to get it. If you're going to go with middle path, the bot in the middle right here is the best place for us to get it, and we managed to do around 40 with no problems whatsoever. Now before that, however, we still got one minor problem for us to deal with, and that is camel balloons. So what I want to do is I actually want to pre-place a super monkey here. Actually, you can't place super monkeys here, so that's a bit of a bummer, but that's fine. I want to place a super monkey here just so that I could find a way to, or I find the best place for me to place down a village. Why? It's because of this round 45. It's a bit of a problem with quite a bit of camel balloons, or camel purples especially, and nothing can pop it, so yeah, it's probably in our best interest to find a way to pop them. And of course, the best option would be for us to go ahead and get ourselves a camel village. So I would say here is our best spot, so let's go ahead and use this spot. And in the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and get myself the Sun Avatar. Took some time, but we finally managed to do it. We managed to get ourselves a Sun Avatar with no problems whatsoever. And now it's time for us to actually focus on word damage. So for the rest of the game, we're just going to focus on getting Robo Monkeys. Some of them will be bottom half with knockback, some of them will be top half with Plasma Blast. But honestly, I think top half with Plasma Blast is going to be way better. Just for the sole reason that it's able to deal more DPS. And with more DPS, and especially because of its critical shots ability, it's going to make things a lot more powerful. So I think I'm just going to reserve only one Super Monkey to a bottom half knockback. Outside of that, the rest should be all top half. So let's actually get started with a top half Super Monkeys first. Actually, while we're here, let's see how we deal with round 63. Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's actually a walk in the park. Okay, so we managed to get our very first Plasma Blast, and that's fantastic. Actually, in the meantime, I should probably get myself bigger radius. And of course, Jungle Drums. Eventually, I will have to get an MIP to help me deal with the DETs. But actually, I'm not even sure if I need it. So if we can, we'll save money. But otherwise, I'm not sure if that's necessary. Okay, so I managed to find a perfect spot to place down 2 more Super Monkeys. So it just so happened that this is actually a pretty neat village spot. I might have to place down another village if I want to increase the range of this, or rather boost the Sun Avatar. But for now, this should be fine. So what I'm thinking is we could reserve this one as the bottom course path, while this one will still have the top course path. Why this one is the bottom course path? Actually, no, I want this one to be the bottom course path, because this one with the top course path is still able to reach the end of the track, and I think that's pretty important, especially because we don't know where we might need it. Who knows? Okay, so now it's round 78. We got huge wave of ceramics, just like 63, except this time it's way more. But once again, we have no problems doing them whatsoever, partially because of the critical shots from the Robo Monkey, partially because of the Sun Avatar. Okay, now it's round 80. We have a 0 MG on our hands, and let's see how long it takes for us to actually pop it. Actually, not that long at all. So it seems like we shouldn't really have that much of a problem with 0 MGs at all. And speaking of which, let's actually go ahead and get ourselves the bottom path. I'm just going to go ahead and place a 4th super here. I'm not going to upgrade it just yet, in case we could avoid upgrading it, because I don't know what's going to happen. But what I will do is I'm going to place another village here so that oh, actually, never mind. I was kind of hoping that it'll be finally in range of the Sun Avatar, but I guess not. So we'll just see what happens. Now, I'm not sure if 2 Robo Monkeys is enough to deal with the DETs around 90, but I guess we'll wait and see. Okay, Moment of Truth is around 90, so we'll see how strong it is against DETs. And ooh, okay, seems to do relatively okay, but the question is whether it's going to survive round 95, because that's the most important. We don't want this defense to die to round 95. And speaking of the level, here's round 95. So with that being said, I've not changed any defenses so far, so let's see how long this will survive. Okay, so far we're doing, I want to say okay, but I'll be honest, it's not looking too great. I might actually have to get the middle path village finally. Let's get it. The reason why I want the middle path village is because the Robo Monkey is going to be way helpful, and it seems like we're still going to leak. Okay, I guess it's about time that we go ahead and get ourselves another Plasma Blast Robo Monkey, and actually see whether we actually even need to get MIB this time round. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to place myself another camo village here. I'm not sure if this is the best placement, but you know what? As long as we can give this fella camo detection, it's fine. I was considering getting a top half Jungle Drums, but I don't think it's really needed. Okay, now you seem to be doing a way better job of dealing with round 95, so that is not a surprise, and we should be able to deal with round 95 with no problem whatsoever. But this wouldn't be our biggest challenge. Oh no, that's going to come out soon. So round 96 is pretty easy, but this is not the challenge that we're looking for. No, instead our first challenge is going to be round 97. Now why round 97? It's because we're dealing with 2 450 MGs, and normally this will be pretty easy, but the problem is that with these 450 MGs, this means that all of its spawns will also be fortified, and with a large amount of fortified BFBs, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I mean, we should be able to deal with round 97 with, without any major issues, because otherwise that means we're going to have quite a bit of a problem with round 98. Okay, it's actually pretty close to round 97, but here comes the true test, round 98. Out of all these rounds, round 98 is going to be the hardest for this challenge. Specifically because we have 30 45 BFBs and 8 0 MGs. The 45 BFBs are a massive problem, but the 0 MGs, if you pop them too early, it's going to become a problem as well, especially if you pop them way earlier than the BFBs. Solely because if you pop the 0 MGs too early, it's going to spawn all them into Super Ceramics, and well, Super Ceramics is just a pain to deal with, even with all these critical shots. So you'll see how long we can survive, or rather, if we can even survive at all. Okay, so now here comes our problem. Everything has been popped into just Super Ceramic Bloons, and we are about to leak some. Thankfully we haven't, but I think we're about to leak a lot, and yeah, we did. Okay, so that's our problem, but we still got a lot of money. So what we can do is we can go ahead and try out a few defenses. So first of all, I just want to get one Plasma Blast Robo Monkey, and we'll see where things go. I don't want to spend or rather I want to try and avoid getting another Robo Monkey, but we'll see how this goes first. Okay, ooh, okay, actually that's a lot of fortified Super Ceramics that we had to deal with. Now remember, we have absolutely no abilities, so it's going to be pretty tough on us. So we'll think about how we want to deal with this carefully. It might also have to do with the tower targeting as well, so we probably want to change that as well. Now, the thing about Robo Monkey is that you cannot set both of his spells at first. Otherwise this would have been way easier, but since we cannot, what I think is instead of setting it to last, we set all them to first and close. So that at the very least it won't prioritize targeting all of the strong 0 MGs, or let alone pop all of the 45 BFBs way too early, so that we won't overrun this map with too many 45 maps or fortified ceramics. Okay, we seem to be doing a bit better. I hope that we can actually beat it. Oh, okay, the end is still a bit too much, but that's fine, because this means that we're actually on the right path. So what we can do after this is actually give ourselves some out buff in addition to letting an additional super, and of course changing the targeting. Now I might be rightfully asking how effective the out buffs will be. The answer is I have no idea, we'll just see. There's quite a lot of money spent on just out buffs, 5 out buffs to be precise, but hopefully our problems will be solved. I'm not sure how effective it's going to be, like I said, but still, let's see. Also, since we have the money, let's go ahead and give ourselves jungle drums, at the very least for our sun avatar. Now, the unfortunate thing about out buffs is that they don't last very long, but when it does last, it's actually pretty darn strong, I would say. So it's pretty reasonable, and it seems that we're actually doing a lot better. Wow, okay, we actually did way better than I kind of expected. So turns out the out buffs is pretty darn useful. But how about round 99 with fortified DDTs? Surely we can beat them, right? And the answer is yes, we can beat them indeed. And here we go, round 100, a single bat, which we should have no problem dealing with, given that we just dealt with round 98. So that's it, folks. Turns out this challenge wasn't exactly as difficult as I kind of expected. It was pretty fun, I would say, considering that I haven't seen anyone try to do 3 tiers chimps before, but I don't know, maybe someone have done it and I'm not sure about it. If someone has done it before and you think I'm just a weak player, just let me know in the comments. But either way, I still think it's a pretty fun challenge, and you guys should probably try it as well. Just like last time, I published a chimps challenge. The challenge is up on the challenge browser if you want to give it a shot yourself. Here's a challenge code if you want to find it. So yeah, I hope you guys have fun with this challenge. Come up with your own strategies, and we'll see how it goes. But in the meantime, thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like if you like this video, leave a comment if you want to send me any more challenges, and I'll see you guys in the next video.